Welcome to Pianosolo, Hiromi. It's a great pleasure to have you here. And first of all, I want to congratulate with you about the performance of tonight.
Thank you very
It was
much.
very crazy. It's amazing. And our first question is about your last studio album, Place to Be. And what is your place to be? Is it a metaphorical idea or a material, physical place?
Well, I came up with the title because I travel all through the year, all over the world, and sometimes I just stop and think and wonder where is the place to be for me. And, I just basically stay in different hotels every day, and when I wake up, I see different ceilings every night, and where am I right now? And I have to be on the plane, and the traveling part is really exhausting.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But when I come to the stage and when I see all these smiles and excitement, that's the time that I know that I feel, right, this is a place to be for me. So I started to realize that my life is like the journey to find as many places as to be as possible. And then at the same time, I felt that people give each other the place to be, like audience gives me the place to be, and I give the audience the place to be. And also, not only the relationship between the musicians and the audience, musicians and, let's say, the driver who picks us up from the airport, musicians and the promoter, and musicians and the manager, everybody kind of give each other life and place to be. And I think it's how all the
So everybody compose yes, your place to be.
so I thought it
And
was
I noticed
good
that
theme.
there is no barrier between you and the audience. You have no kind of shyness about your feelings. You cry, you smile. And so what is the importance of audience for you, for the creation of your music?
Well, I'm always looking for some emotional connection between me and the audience, trying to connect, because we don't speak same language. And I mean, unless I'm in the States or Japan, like, it's hard for me to communicate in the language of their own. But the music doesn't need language, and what I feel, maybe they feel that, then it's really beyond the language and beyond the barrier, and music can really go directly from heart to heart, even though it's coming from fingers to ears. But you don't feel the music with ears, you feel the music with heart. And I don't play music with fingers. I do, but I play music with heart, and that's really beautiful relationships that that I can have with the audience, because I've never met. I mean, maybe some people, yes, they come back, they come back to my shows, but most of the time I meet them for the first time, and I never talked to them before. But just with music, to have such a deep connection, I think that's what's magical about music.
It's soulful, of course. And this evening you performed two songs, Sicilian Blue and the other song about the experience in New York. Two different words, two different rhythms and moods. What is your attitude when you travel? What are your feelings? You go to music shops, to bookshops. What is your approach?
Well, my approach is when I have like a day off, or when I have extra days to stay, of course I want to go to see things and see historical places. But when I don't have time, when I just have to travel from the city to the city every day, in different places, my main focus is just play, perform. So I just only place that actually I can feel the difference is the venue, how people react to music, and That's the only difference that I feel.
And so Sicilian Blue, in which way it's...
In Sicily, I had some extra days there, so I could really walk in the city, and I just heard the sound, the melody.
some short...
I was just walking and looking at this beautiful landscape, and I just heard it in my head. It was like putting my own soundtrack to the scenery, that I was watching, and so I just heard it like movie. So
yeah.
I wrote it down, and so it was really
And so
easy
you...
birth.
Yeah. And so this kind of tune impressed your mind, and then when you sat at the piano, how is your attitude to the piano, to the composition? Did you
That
compose at
one.
the piano?
It depends. Sometimes, like Syrian Blue, I just heard it in my head, and I didn't have to touch the piano to compose. I just heard the melody, so I just wrote it down and applied it to the piano, and it worked. But sometimes, when I'm just facing the piano, playing, playing, then sometimes I just come up with ideas, and so there are a lot of different ways to write music.
So do you usually wait for inspiration, or just you take inspiration from everyday life, from everyday
I'm always
noises?
looking for one. Always looking for what can be music.
And how much music do you listen to?
For me, music doesn't really come from music. Music comes from experiences. Music comes from something that moves my heart. So actually, I don't write when I listen to music. I write when I feel something emotional. So I'm always just looking for something, some events, or some interesting person, or some beautiful landscape, which can be music.
Okay. And now, probably a strange question. If you should compare your music to a sculpture or to a painting, which one you would choose?
I don't know. I I think if I knew, then I would be a sculptor or a painter.
No.
I don't know other art form well, so that's why I play the piano, I guess. Yeah.
Just you don't have so you don't relate your music to an image or to some when you compose, when you create music, you don't relate your composition to images.
Yeah, I always see visual images. I always.
And for you, for example, jazz or blues, what kind of images evoke?
I never really listen to music by genres. Like, I never listen to music like, okay, I want to listen to jazz. I never thought like that in my whole life. I just want to listen to this artist who happened to be called as a jazz pianist. So I don't have a specific image for jazz or blues.
Do you hate musical labels?
I don't hate it. I think it's like sign on the map. On the left, you have river. On the right, you have mountains. But, it's just signs, and maybe you find something else. Maybe you feel it differently. I don't hate it. I don't hate people call me jazz musician at all. I don't hate it. But I don't name it. People can name it because I don't know what kind of genres I should belong to, because I just play music. Because for me, music, it only has two categories for me. The one which makes me feel good, and the other one which doesn't make me feel good. And I play the music which makes me feel good,
correct.
and hopefully it makes other people feel good as well.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of, when I play concert, it's like a journey of finding people who have same taste.